So as a creative person, you hold one of the greatest gifts that life has to offer. You can manifest an idea and bring it to life. And sadly, you are constantly told lies that I guarantee are holding you back. You see, these lies come from the 90% of people who will never walk in your shoes. These are the people who major in minuscule things. They are experts at stuff that really doesn't matter. And like I said, you are taking on the task of one of life's greatest gifts, making something. And these are the people that you're going to take advice from. These are the people you're going to listen to. Unfortunately, most of the time that is the case. So today we are going through 7 lies that society and people tell creative people that are holding you back. And today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. But the first thing that we got to talk about today is the idea of never giving up. Never giving up is a great phrase. I encourage all artists to never give up on their dreams, but that is the key right there. Don't give up on your mission, your goal, and your dreams. If you want to be a professional artist one day and create things for a living, strive for that. But sometimes the path that you're taking to get to that dream is something that you need to give up on, because this path is not serving you the way you initially intend to. You see, one big mistake artists make is getting caught in this head against a wall mindset of, I'm never going to give up. I'm just going to put my nose to the grindstone and work so hard to achieve what I want to do. And unfortunately, it usually ends in burnout rather than actual success. You might be able to reach a marginal level of success, but it's much easier to reach your goals if you are willing to adjust and give up on the idea that you think is going to get you to your dream. You see, that's the caveat of the never give up. You don't want to give up on the big picture, but sometimes the small picture path that you're using to get there is one that is inefficient that you need to recalibrate. A prime example of this with me is actually this YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel thinking that I wanted to have a vlog channel. I was thinking that that was going to be the way that I could market my photography and get my art out there, as people seeing more of my life. And while this was effective, it drained every ounce of energy I had to keep it up, because it wasn't something that came natural to me. And around 2020, 2021, I started to realize that videos like this, where I share more of my experiences and speak more rather than try to create this fabulous life around my photography, is actually a more effective use of the skills and the talents that I have, and at the same time can still promote my photography and promote the things that I want to do in my life, which at the end of the day isn't just photography, it's just creating in general. So making videos like this one is a much better use of my creative energy, and I feel much more efficient doing so. So stop listening to people who tell you that you need to grind to get everything that you want. These people are idiots. Work smarter, not harder. Now, the second thing we got to talk about today is the phrase, it's not a competition. You hear this all the time in the creative community, and unfortunately, it's a phrase that is dripping with good intentions that are often taken the wrong way. A lot of artists use it's not a competition as a cop-out, as a way to relinquish control of whatever is happening to them. Maybe a project didn't receive the feedback they hoped for. Maybe they're seeing other artists make sales or other artists perform well and they're not performing well, and they just toss it up to, oh, it's not a competition, it's not a big deal. And in reality, it is. You see, an unhealthy viewpoint of competition comes from scarcity, and it looks like this. It's you looking at your friend over there who's making a bunch of money with whatever they're creating, and you start thinking, because they have it, I will never have that thing. That competition is taking opportunities and taking money away from me. If you start thinking in this pattern, you're never going to get what you want. It's literally impossible, because you're not allowing yourself to actually have the thing that you want because someone else has it. You don't think there's enough for everyone. So remember, it's not a competition when it comes to jobs and money and opportunities. There is an abundance of that for everyone, but it is a competition if you're not getting there and you want to be there. Look at that friend of yours who's making money with their creativity and ask yourself, what are they doing differently? How can I change my approach? How can I adjust what I'm doing so that I can get to where they are? That is my competitor. I want to be as good as them. Or maybe someone is more skilled than you. You can look at them and say, that is where I strive to be. That is my competition. They are better than me. How do I get there? That is healthy. That's like the fundamental basis of the world we live in today. Everything is based on competition. And if you ignore it, you're setting yourself up for less than you can actually get. So before we continue on with this list, I briefly want to thank the sponsor on today's video, Squarespace. When you walk around with a camera enough, one thing you start to notice is people asking if you're a photographer. The one mistake I made for a long time was saying yes and just walking away, or even worse, giving a random person my phone number and telling them to reach out to book a photo shoot. Squarespace changed all this when I built my first website. Now I simply say yes, give them my website and say you can book me through the contact me button on my homepage. If you want a video on how to do this, I have a tutorial link down below. You can follow along there. But a website is the first step into turning your passion for photography into a money-making opportunity, and no one makes it as easy as Squarespace. I built my first website in basically one afternoon. It took me one day of work, and that website has generated well over 6 figures in revenue since. And maybe you're listening to this and thinking client work isn't really my thing. Squarespace also allows you to sell prints, sell merch, and sell digital products like your presets. So don't take my word for it. You can try it for yourself with a free trial at squarespace.com/EvanRamp. And when you're ready to sign up, you can use code EvanRamp to save 10% off. That's squarespace.com/EvanRamp. Follow one of those tutorials I have linked down below. And when you're ready to sign up, you can use code EvanRamp to save 10%. So the third thing we got to talk about today is pretty quick, but possibly the most important on this list, and it's making I am statements. You hear people do this every single day. And essentially what they are doing is sharing their limiting belief about themselves to you. They're making it known. I am overweight. I am a procrastinator. I am someone who doesn't sleep good. Whatever it is, they are defining themselves by something. And when you do this, you are locking yourself in concrete to that place you are in life. How are you going to be someone who is any different than what you are if you believe that I am this? So when it comes to art, when it comes to creativity, a lot of artists think I am a small artist. I am a local artist. I am an artist who's only going to make $50,000 a year. I am an artist who's poor. I am an artist who is out of shape. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The minute you make a statement like that, you are solidifying who you actually are as a person. This is something I'm so passionate about because I see it every single day. This is the biggest separator between normal people and people like you who dream and can make something, because you actually believe that your ideas and your vision for what life is and what you can make is attainable, and so many people don't. So if you're someone who is sitting around saying I am this and you're not where you want to be in life, assess that statement and figure out why you think that way about yourself. That one got a little heated right there, but I'm super passionate about that one. The fourth thing we got to talk about is the idea of improving weaknesses. For whatever reason, from the time we are children, we are fed this idea that if you're bad at something, you have to get better at it, and we just ignore the things that we are good at. Artists are constantly trying to make up for the things that they lack. Oh, I don't understand how to use Photoshop very well. I'm gonna go spend a bunch of time working on that and trying to improve that skill. If that skill is relevant to what you are trying to achieve, by all means, go for it. But if it has nothing to do with your end goal and your end vision, why are you bothering putting time into it? A jack of all trades is a master of none, and I cannot tell you how many young artists I meet who are Photoshop experts, they're photographers, they're videographers, they're sound editors, they do literally everything, and none of them are in the position that they want to be in because they don't specialize in anything. They're not putting all their time and all their energy into what makes sense for them, where their strength is. Everyone has a unique strength. It's all about finding it, and it's all about bringing it to the surface and taking advantage of it. Who cares if you're not good at something? When I was in 10th grade, we had this thing called factors in algebra. I don't even remember what they are, but shout out to my teacher, Miss Rary. She allowed us to take a factors test as many times as you could until you got a good grade on it. And I wanted to get a good grade on it, so I took it 12 times. 12 times trying to get better at factors. I don't even know what that is. I've never used it since. But these are the moments that ingrain this idea in your head of keep pounding away at what you're not good at and ignore the things that you naturally excel at, because who needs those things? So if you're an artist, figure out what am I good at, what you excel at naturally, what naturally excites you and motivates you and gives you inspiration every single day. You know, that thing that people say, the job isn't a job. If you can find that and then double down on it, you're ahead of a lot of people. So the fifth thing we got to talk about today is this idea that you will have a validating moment as an artist. I have had at least 10 moments in my career that I thought was going to finally validate me and make me this professional artist that everybody looked at was like, you're a professional artist. It doesn't happen. I'm telling you, this is something that is made up, and it's you trying to find happiness and validation and worth in something outside of yourself. I'm going to give you an example. So I had my first gallery show in 2015. It was full of photographs. Some of them sold. It was a packed house. So many people came. It was by all means a success. And as soon as it was done, I looked around and thought to myself, Why am I so disappointed? I thought this was going to be the moment for me. I thought if I did this, I was going to finally feel good about things. And the same thing happened when I got to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I thought this is going to be my moment. I'm finally going to feel good about things. And I started to realize I'm just like trying to fill some void in my life or something, not to get like too psychology here, but this is something that a lot of artists deal with. You know, people are always looking for something outside of them to make them feel good, and they think that their art career is going to solve that. It's up to you to define who you are and what value you have. Don't worry about external things doing that. You are never going to have a validating moment as an artist, so stop chasing it. Maybe you'll have a big milestone moment. Maybe you have a goal that you achieve, whatever that is. Maybe you're a musician and you want to play at Madison Square Garden, but if you're not happy going into that event, the event itself isn't going to make you happy. So number 6 on today's list is this common idea of enjoy your life. Everyone always wants to tell you, take some time to not work, enjoy your life. You only get one life, YOLO. The problem is the people who are telling you this are not actually living anything. Most of these people spend their days at work for 40 hours a week, then they go out and drink on the weekends, feel terrible on Sunday, and then Monday they wake up and give you the advice to enjoy your life. Today's definition of success is completely defined by you. So define that success and do what you have to do to get there. Delaying gratification to get what you want. If you want to travel the world with your craft, if you want to work remotely, if you want to have a real estate portfolio, I don't care what you want to do with your art. If you are going to get there, you have to make some type of sacrifice and live outside of what 90% of people are telling you. Now, the last thing we got to talk about today is super quick. I've been rambling a lot in this video, but I love the way it's coming out. It is the idea that busy means you're productive. If you walk into any corporate office today and sit there for a week, you will realize one thing: people are not productive. They feel busy, but they're not productive. When I was in college, I worked at a Fortune 10 company all through college. It was an internship, part-time job thing that I did. I think I worked there 20 hours a week. And the biggest standout to me was that everyone there was frantic for nothing. People were running between meetings. People were stressed out all day, but in reality, they weren't doing anything. They're working for someone else's company. They're going to meetings that someone else scheduled so that person can feel like they're productive and the person going can feel like they're productive, and we're all productive. We're all at these meetings. We're doing all this stuff, but nothing is actually happening. And this also trickles down to creatives. How many times do you see artists posting on Twitter all day long? When are they actually out creating art? This is the illusion of productivity. It's doing easy tasks to make yourself feel like that you are actually achieving something and actually accomplishing something. Oh, I'm tweeting all day. Oh, I'm scrolling through Instagram all day. Oh, if I'm editing old photos all day, I'm being productive. To summarize this one and keep it short, you want every action you take to have an intention behind it. Because if you're taking actions with no intentions, you're not doing anything. You're spinning your wheels. You're not actually productive. So that's the video today. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you want help one-on-one, you can book a coaching call with me on my website. It's linked down below in the description. Also, if you're here for my photography videos, don't worry, there will be more of those. See y'all in the next one.